Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Moving to Florida show. Our guest today is a lifelong resident of the Florida Keys. She is also a realtor and here to tell us all about the Florida island lifestyle. We're excited to have her today on the Moving to Florida show. Milly Cruz, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, we are super excited to have you on today because, well, me personally, as we were just discussing before we started recording, not from Florida, and I've never actually been to the Keys, though a Florida Keys road trip is definitely on my list. I'm definitely wanting to make that happen.
Yeah, perfect. So the most visited island down here is actually Key West. So most people like all over the country, they won't know like the Florida Keys, but they'll know Key West for sure.
Yep.
I was born and raised here. I am based out of Marathon, Florida, but the hospital is so small that like we have to be born in Key West. So I'm a true conch, born and raised. It's definitely been an experience. Every time I tell people that I'm like from here, they're like, there's no way. We don't know people that are actually like locals, this and that. So it's definitely a tourist destination. And, I love living down here. I left for a couple years when I went to college. So for about 3 years, and then I found my way back down here and the market was just absolutely insane. So I was like, I have to get my realtor's license. And here we are.
There are you. Awesome.
So you're in Marathon, and I think you told me that's basically kind of like in the middle of the Keys.
Yeah, Marathon is the middle key. Key Largo is the key that's closest to the mainland, so to Miami. And then Key West is the southernmost point, and it's actually closer to Cuba than it is to Miami.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes.
It's a nice, what is it, another 4.5 hour drive from Miami to Key West?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, so like, from where I live, it's like 3 hours. I guess from Key Largo, it's about an hour or two. And then Key West, it's even longer.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. So tell us a little bit about the Keys and which, I mean, you said there's multiple different, Key Largo, there's Marathon, there's Key West. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that. And do you cover all the Keys yourself?
Yes. So the Florida Keys is actually composed of 800 separate keys. Some of them are obviously super tiny. I would say the major ones, though, are Key Largo, Marathon, and Key West. Being that the keys are kind of small, I service the whole entire area. So if someone's looking for a home in Key West, in Key Largo, in Big Pine Key, Big Coppet Key, whichever, I'm able to assist just because it's honestly not a far drive and it's in my range of area. The market down here is definitely crazy because this is such like an investment place. Like most of the homeowners don't even live here. This is like their second home. And while they're not here, they're renting it out with short-term rental or vacation rental. And so like I always tell everyone, it's always a good time to invest in the Florida Keys because like this market, it's honestly one of the more stable markets because there's always a high demand and there's always a low supply. Like this is just everybody wants to live in the Keys. Why not? It's paradise, and especially if you can work and play here, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so I would guess that, I mean, a lot of our people that listen to the show, they're planning to move to Florida. They're thinking that, summer lifestyle. But we do still, I mean, it's currently in the 60s here in Central Florida. It was, in the 40s last week, and we all stayed inside. How is the weather down there? I mean, obviously it's kind of tropical, right? So,
yes.
What does that really look like year round? I know you don't have the four seasons.
Of course. No, honestly, I would say that it's literally summer year round. I would say like last week was our week of winter, where it got pretty cold. I think down here it got down to like maybe the 50s or something, and it was absolutely freezing. Like I could not function and go outside. I had to stay indoors. It is normally always 75 and sunny here. Like that is definitely it. We do have kind of like a hurricane season, I believe like in August, September, October, around there, where it'll like rain and stuff. But it's honestly, those are just a few months out of the whole entire year where it's literally always sunny, always hot, always humid.
Yeah. Now you touched on a very touchy subject, which is hurricanes. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how you guys prepare yourselves down there for hurricanes, because like you said, I mean, there is a season for that. And we've talked about hurricanes quite a few times on our show. So how do you prepare and stuff in Orlando? But it's completely different, or even more, conscious. People are more conscious down there with it when it comes to hurricanes. So tell us a little bit what that looks like down in Key West or
Yeah,
Keys.
so I've lived through a couple hurricanes, nothing too crazy. I would say the most devastating hurricane that we had recently was Hurricane Irma back in 2017. So I was a senior in high school and I was out of school for a whole entire month because when it came down, the whole entire Keys was kind of destroyed. And I think it hit the hardest in Marathon because it was right in the middle. So everybody, had to rebuild. Like I said, there was no school. People were out of work. So it definitely was really hard. But what a lot of people do down here is they do like hurricane-proof windows and doors and things like that, just trying to help. I know a lot of people are also trying to build up more because we do have a lot of homes like on the flood level. But that's what you have insurance for. And everybody that I've spoken to, insurance has paid them out and helped them whenever a hurricane does hit. I think, there are going to be a few times where we're going to have some really bad hurricanes, but people down here, they turn it into a party. Like they have hurricane parties, friends come over, they just drink and just ride out the hurricane, really.
Yeah. Oh, so Millie, you don't know this, but I'm from Louisiana, so I know about a hurricane party.
When we hear hurricane in my side of the woods, we drive north. Keep driving north.
Yeah, my parents actually met at a hurricane party, and they've been in love ever since.
That's crazy.
So.
You are a true Floridian. There you go.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, well, let's talk about the real estate a little bit in the Keys, and I'm sure it varies from place to place. Now, I'm sure that Key West is very expensive, but what about the rest of the Keys? Is everything $1 million plus, or what are we really looking at there?
Yeah, so right now it is very hard to find something, that's on the water, which is like ideally what everyone wants without it, costing $1 million or plus. I actually ran some of the numbers today just because I wanted to be able to give you guys some numbers. And the average listing price for homes in the Keys, and I'm pretty sure it's specific to Marathon, which is not even as expensive as Key West. The average listing price is $935,000, which to me sounds so crazy because I remember like when my parents and grandparents and stuff were buying homes for so cheap down here, a couple years ago, and now it's just through the roof. And everything is like either selling for listing or more. Nothing is really selling under listing. I've had a few clients that are like, oh, do you think if we put in an offer under, we'll get it? And I'm like, honestly, everything is selling at listing price. So that has to be like the bottom line of the offer that you put in. So it's
be like, that was 4 years ago, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's definitely shot up a lot. And I don't really see it, going down just because the way that the Keys are is like by law, we're mandated to have limited growth, with like the amount of homes that are built, the land and stuff like that. So the value of property is just going up, and I think it's just going to keep rising because, like I said, this is such an ideal destination. Everybody wants to live here. So it's definitely going to get expensive.
Yeah, just continue to grow. I can see that. Sorry, Mo, go ahead.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that the government puts a regulation on how many homes can be built and whatnot, are there new builds that are happening there?
To my knowledge, no, not really. I do have some family members that they're doing like new construction, but like the permits are just taking forever. I know that they're also going to be putting new things into an effect where like you can't even build at all. I know that building rights, like just by themselves, are selling for crazy amounts of money, and lots are being sold without building rights for a lot of money too. So it's getting very expensive down here.
So I would guess if you're going to build something in the Florida Keys, it's going to be more of a build. I'm losing my train of thought on what the phrase would be, but more of like a build to suit than, like we have here in Central Florida. We've got these production builders that you pull into the community and they've got 2 or 3 model homes. They've got 8 different floor plans they build. You don't have that stuff in the Keys.
No, we don't. My parents are actually, my mom's a contractor and then my dad is the carpenter. So I do have like the inside scoop on that situation, and it's crazy. We don't have anything like that down here. And I know the cost of materials has shot up a lot. Production time is really backed up just because it's so hard to get things, materials down here. So the market is super interesting right now.
They got a real estate assembly line in her house. You got a
Yeah.
contractor, you got a carpenter, and you got a real estate agent.
Yes,
You got a
yes.
trifecta going on. That's
Yes,
awesome.
perfect business to be in down here, really.
Awesome. So, like you mentioned, your mom's a contractor, your dad's a carpenter. What got you into real estate? I know you saw the booming market. You're like, huh, got a little greedy here. Let me get into the real estate business.
No, what actually happened was I was going to college, and I was getting my degree in criminology and psychology, but then I got pregnant, so I was like, there's no career that I can really go in where I can stay home and take care of the baby. And that's a really big thing for me. Like, I just wanted to be home to take care of her. So it was actually my fiance. He was like, you would be a perfect real estate agent. And he was like, especially the market is booming down here. Your parents are in construction. Like, this is just really good for you. And at first I was kind of hesitant because like I've never imagined myself being a real estate agent. But when I looked more into it, I was like, I am the perfect person for this. I'm very personable. I'm very friendly. I would love to help people find their dream home. I'm a lifelong local. So, I just know so much about this market without even being a real estate agent. I was like, I have so much potential doing this. So I actually got my license when I was 9 months pregnant. And then I took a couple months off. My baby's 2 months old now. And now is when I officially started working. And it's been fun. It's been really fun. I really love it. I didn't know that I was going to enjoy it so much, but it's the best, really.
Yeah, you get to drive all over those beautiful islands, showing them off, right?
Yeah. Yes. Or for Valentine's Day, I actually did like a helicopter tour of Marathon, and it was so beautiful. I got the most beautiful
Cool.
shots. Like, I'm so excited to use it for marketing and advertising because they're so unique, and they came out so beautiful. The sunsets down here are unreal. Like, I've traveled to many different places, and the sunsets down here, like, you just can't find them anywhere else.
Oh, I bet. I bet. So one thing that I have heard about the Keys, and I'm curious if this is true. I picture a tropical island, and it's just beaches all around. But for a lot of the Keys, it's not really like that.
Yeah, so honestly, I think all of our beaches are like artificial. I believe that it's like with sand from the Caribbean and stuff like that. I don't think that we have any natural beaches, but we do have some beautiful beaches. In Marathon, we have a beach. It's called Sombrero Beach, which I grew up going there all the time. I really love it. But my favorite beach is actually called Bahia Honda, which is like after you get over the 7 Mile Bridge, kind of going south. That beach is beautiful. I've taken, my maternity photos there, and I just have so many memories going there as a child. And like, it's just white sand and super blue water, and it doesn't even look like it's real. But that's definitely my favorite beach down here. And then I know that there's some beaches in Key West as well.
Yeah. Mo, I got to throw you under the bus here. We were talking
Uh-oh.
before we started recording, and that's when Millie told us how old she was. So she told us she has not been out drinking on Duval Street, but Mo, I know you have.
I have. So a little story, it's a little backstory. So during Hurricane Irene, I had taken a cruise. I'd say a week or two prior. Oh no, a week of the hurricane. So we got stuck, and I mean they brought us into Keys first. That's where our first stop was. And we walked Duval Street, saw all the bars and clubs. They're all hopping. I mean, they're all fully packed. I think it was like a Friday night. So Friday night and Saturday nights, I'm sure it's insane over there.
Yes.
But you could see like there was not a sad person on the street. Everyone's happy. Like everyone's like, oh my God, everyone's on vacation. So you got to join the fun too. So I had a few drinks on there, and then got back on the ship, and then we got stuck there for an additional 3 days because now we have to go away from the hurricane. But then we came back and landed back onto Key West because we couldn't go anywhere else because now the hurricane had passed. So we went back and did it all over again. So yeah, it's definitely a fun party town. I would say it's a very mature audience over there. You don't see like, teens and like kids going out to drink. It's more of a, an adult environment, I would say. Not saying that kids can't have fun there because my daughter was there and she had a good time.
So Duval Street So here's what I'm picturing. Again, as I already said, I'm from Louisiana, so you've probably heard of Bourbon Street. Like that's what I picture when I'm thinking of Duval Street. Am I on the right track there?
Yeah, I've heard comparisons with the two that they're very similar. It is very much like that. Like there's a bar right in front of you, right next to you, to the left of you, and everybody's just walking the streets with drinks in their hand. Everybody's on vacation. It's super chill, super laid back. Everybody's in flip flops. Like it's very relaxed.
That sounds like Bourbon Street, other than the flip flops. I would not want to wear flip flops on Bourbon Street. Well, Millie, we want to make sure that our guests can connect with you. So we're going to set up a blog post for this episode so that they can connect with you. And I'm thinking Millie in the Keys.
That sounds good to
All
me.
right. So your first
Millie
name
in
is
the Keys.
Yeah, Millie. So Milly. So you guys, you can check out movingtofloridashow.com/Millie in the Keys, and that'll get you connected with Millie, where you can learn more about the Florida Keys. Millie, anything else you would like to tell us today?
No, I think that about covered it. Honestly, if you haven't been to the Keys, you just have to come and experience it at least once in your life so you can understand what we're talking about. Because I promise this area is like no other place in the country. Like it is just, it's unique island. Like I said, like we're not attached to the mainland, only with bridges. So down here, like I said, super relaxed, super just everybody's just chill on vacation. It's just a dream place to live.
Yeah, just on a different vibe.
So I'm guessing when you're showing homes, you don't have to like polo up and wear, jeans, shorts and a tee and get out.
Yes,
and
yes.
flip-flop.
Yesterday I had a few showings with other realtors, and they literally just showed up with flip flops, shorts, no polos, just a name tag, to make it professional. But it's so casual. All of my teachers in school would come to school with just flip flops and shorts. Like that's just how it is down here. Doctors have flip flops on. Like that's just how it is.
All right, that's it. I'm moving to the Keys.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, if you need to find a home, you know who to reach out to.
There we go.
you go.
Hey, I do want to ask about the bridges. You said 7 Mile Bridge earlier. Tell us. So it's basically all the islands are connected with bridges. I gotta guess that's a pretty drive, right?
Yes, it is so beautiful. The helicopter ride I actually went on, it went over the 7 Mile Bridge, and that's where the best sunsets are. So we were able to watch the sunset go down over the bridge in the helicopter, and it was just unreal. It was perfect. The 7 Mile Bridge, I'm pretty sure, is the most popular bridge down here because it's like the longest, and it used to be a railroad back in the day, and then it turned into the bridge, and then it actually, after Irma, it got shut down for renovations, and it actually just reopened again. So everybody's been going out there. I like to go out there and rollerblade, exercise with my family, and then all the tourists always go there at sunset to get the most beautiful pictures.
So I think I know what you're talking about here. I've seen photos. I've seen lots of photos. But it used to be the railroad line, and then it was the main road into town. But now it's no vehicles on it. Is that right?
No. It's kind of, just like an artifact where tourists can come and walk on it. But you can't even walk on the whole bridge. I believe it's only about like 2 miles that we're able to like walk on. And then they built a whole new bridge, which is much bigger and newer, obviously, for the vehicles to pass on through. So when you're driving, you're on the new bridge. And then if you look over to your side, you'll see like the old bridge and what remains of it.
Okay, awesome. Got it. Well, Millie, again, thank you so much for joining us, guys. If you want to get connected with Millie, movingtofloridashow.com/Millie in the Keys.